welcome. And I am going to give you 2 minutes, 120 seconds. And I want you to read. So flip it over right now. You have 2 minutes. Don't wait on me. Go ahead and write down what you think is going well. I'm going to give you about a minute to respond. Tell me what it means. You don't know what it means? Just say, I want to hear some of the answers that you have, and all I want to do is just hear what you have. We're not going to talk about it. So just tell me some things you guys came up with. What did you come up with? What did you come up with about what the poem is about? Okay, so you're thinking about the path we choose during life. All right, what did you say? Following our dreams. Spending the time we have right now, spending it wisely. Well, I don't know. TJ?
When following life's thread, things happen, tragedies, accidents, nothing can stop it, just go on with life.
Okay, nothing can stop the things that happen to you, so continue.
On the part where it says while you hold it, you can't get lost. It's saying like if you know what you want in life, and like you keep on like reaching for that goal, like you'll succeed.
So I have a goal for myself. Just keep going for it.
Remember what things are.
So I'm sorry?
The way things are.
This is the way things are. Guys in the back, tell me what you got. Life, and how you live it. Okay. So you guys did a really good job with that. All right, now we're going to do number 2. I don't want you to talk about it yet. I want you to reread it. And as soon as you reread it, this is what I want you to say. I want you to either say, I still think I'm right, or if you have gotten some more information about it, I want you to change what you said or add to what you said. So I'm going to give you another 2 minutes to read. So read it again. You're either going to respond, I like what I said, or you're going to either add to what you said or change what you said. So you have 2 more minutes. So everybody is a reader. finish up what you want to say. Do you like it? If so, tell me that. If you want to add to it or change it, then do that. Okay, what you did as a reader was, you read it the first time. Raise your hand if you totally changed your mind about your first response. About a third of us in here changed our mind. Raise your hand if you totally added, you didn't change it, but you added to what you had to say. So raise your hand if you added anything. So about half of you. Raise your hand if you liked what you said the first time and you didn't have to change a thing. About a third of you then. Okay, so what happened is that very few of you in the class actually kept what you said. You liked what you said. So this is what we're going to do now. I told you earlier that when we reread things, our understanding of a piece of text, it's better. But do you remember what I said after that? Once you read it, what's something else you should do as a reader to help you even understand it even more?
Like, take a chunk and then think about it in your head to process it.
Okay, so you're rereading again, but I didn't say reread the whole thing, did I?
Just
Like if you get a long piece of text, you reread short passages.
Yes, ma'am.
Would you say what I gave you was a big giant piece of text or was a little chunk?
It was a little chunk.
It was a little chunk, so you didn't have to chunk that so much. So it was already chunked in a smaller text for you, so you didn't have to do that part. So once you reread it to understand it better, do you remember what I said you do after you reread it? What's something else that helps you build the understanding of the text?
You talk about it.
You talk about it. So I'm going to give you 90 seconds. In your group, I want you to share your ideas, and I'm going to give you a little bit more than that. I'm going to give you 3 minutes. I want you to share your ideas, and I want you to defend your ideas with the people in your group. In other words, if somebody disagrees with you, I want you to defend what you say. But if you listen to somebody else in your group and you go, you know, I didn't think about it. Sorry, I actually planned that. So what I want you to do is if you happen to notice somebody else said something and you go, I think you might be on the right track. You also have the opportunity to change your answer totally. So I'm going to give you 3 minutes to discuss this piece of reading in your group. Share what you think. Defend it if you honestly believe it. But if somebody else says something to you, you can change what you said, or you can still add to what you said. So right now, once you're discussing the text, you have 3 minutes to discuss the text.
Okay. The thread is like have to follow. And it says people wonder what you're doing. They ask what you're doing with your life.
So did you get me on videotape jumping out my seat?
You have to explain about what you're doing. If you have something you want to respond to it, nothing you can do can stop it.
And I got nothing to do with what to say.
Alright, I said, I don't know.
I'm Uncle Sam.
Which does not make any sense. Just represent the army. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Chanel is pretty cool. Chanel is pretty cool. What's thugging? Drake. The singer? I'm on, you're not the best part.
I don't know.
You're not either. I do. Wait, mine. I'm better than yours. I'm better than yours. You got them words.
The way things are, let go of all the bad things.
Yeah.
Think and see the good things.
You can read mine for the first one and the second one.
That time is a piece of bread. Don't do it that way.
Alright, say my first one. Not that one. Oh, yeah.
I don't know if
It's live. I meant live. That's what I'm saying.
I heard a lot. I said,
We already heard it.
she said break it down, so I'm like, break down what we did.
This means the cat.
There's a thread, you follow it. It's like, well, there's this thread, and that's the light thread, you follow it, and it's kind of purplish, pinkish. I have to be explaining.
So this thread is what, and you have to follow it?
Oh, it's like the Haley, how she explains everything.
Okay.
Well,
Haley? What did you talking about this thread thing?
The thread, it's like, I'm not sure. Yeah, and then I like to write down about it. And then I put, people wonder what you're doing. They ask about what you're doing with your life. And then it said, but people don't understand. You just have something you want. If you hold on to it, it's nothing. It's not time unfolding like that.
So the thread is whether it's a positive path or a negative path, that's what you're choosing in life. Okay, could be.
I put something else.
What'd you say?
I said, they go all the bad things. And we all the bad things.
So what is the thing that you're what is the thing you're what do you mean when you talk about it? Show me in the text where it's talking about when we see all the
Like it said, tragedies happen, you get hurt or die, suffer, you get old, never can stop, that means like, let go of all the bad things that happen, live for now.
live for now. Okay, that's kind of like a motto, live for now. Okay, let me get your attention. I'm totally sweating here. I apologize. Okay, let me ask you a question. When you have the opportunity to talk to somebody, I want you to write down for number 3, and I want you to say if you changed your mind about what you said or you now added more information. So I want you to write, changed my mind or added more information. If you just totally didn't get anything new from anybody, just say, nothing new. So changed my mind, added new information, nothing new. Those are your 3 choices. Based on having a discussion, did anybody change their mind? You totally changed your mind? Did you add new information?
Well, between 1 and 2.
Between 1 and 2. Okay, so you added some new information just by talking to somebody. Did anybody didn't add anything? Everything you said was right on path to what you said, and you didn't want to add any more new information? Okay, a few of us did, about a third of the class. So what you actually found out is what? When we read it more than once, what just happened to our comprehension? Did it stay the same or did it go up? When we read it more than once, did it stay the same or did it go up?
It went up.
It went up. For most of us, it actually went up. When we got to talk to somebody, for most of us, did it stay the same? Or for most of us, did we add a little bit more information? Raise your hand if you didn't add anything. Raise your hand if you added something new. So looking at the hands, what do you think happened more? That we got more information or that we didn't? We didn't get more information? Or we did? Let's count. Raise your hand if you did not gain new information once you talked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Raise your hand if you gathered new information once you had the opportunity to talk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5 to 6. But the thing about it is, if nobody raised their hand, then talking to somebody would have no value. But you did have the opportunity to talk. So for about half of you, you actually added more for comprehension. You actually got something out of that just by talking to somebody. I'm going to do one more thing, and I'm going to talk to you about the actual poem now. And we're going to see if we changed our mind or added new information. I would love for somebody, raise your hand. I would like for 3 readers to volunteer to read. I want you to read the first 3 lines. I want you to read the next 3 lines, and I want you to read the last 4 lines. Before a new reader starts to read, we're going to stop and talk. So, Olivia, you're going to read the first 2 lines. You ready? Sorry, the first 3 lines.
Okay. There's a thread you follow. It goes among things that change, but it doesn't change. People wonder about what you're pursuing.
There's a thread that you follow. Do you think you can see that thread?
No.
Is there like a thread that we're holding on to? We're like, oh, I gotta follow this thread. Can you see, is that happening? No. So is this some kind of invisible thread that we are following? And it says, things change. What's changing? Things in our lives, or trees are changing, or birds are changing. What's everything? Everything about our lives are changing. But the thread doesn't change. So this invisible thread that we're following, it never changes, even though everything else does. People wonder about what you're pursuing. What does that mean? People wonder about what you're pursuing.
Like they ask you what are you going to do with your life, what are you doing with it?
What are you doing with your life? If people are asking you what you're doing with your life, what in the world does that have to do with this invisible thread? What does that have to do with anything? People are asking, what are you doing with your life? So what the heck is this invisible thread?
It's like the invisible thread is like the path you're going to follow.
The path we're going to follow. What's another way we can say the path you're going to follow?
Future.
Your what?
Your future.
Your future. Okay. Okay. Life. Anything else? Well, don't I have a choice in my life?
Yep.
So what do I call this choice that I have for myself? What is it that I set for myself that I can either choose to do or choose not to do? Like our decisions or our goals in life. So here I have this thread that I'm following, and we can call that thread our goals. I need my next reader. Okay?
Wait, am I the next one?
You're the last one.
You're the next reader.
You have to explain about the thread. It is hard for others to see. Why do you want to be lost?
I've set goals for myself. And other people are asking me about it. They don't know what I've planned for myself, and they're asking about it. And they don't understand why I'm making the decisions that I'm making. And it says so right here, you have to explain about the thread. But sometimes when you set goals for yourself, do you sometimes change those goals?
Yeah.
Sometimes you change those goals. And sometimes people don't understand that. They just don't get it. So far, we've decided that this thread is the path of our life we've chosen for ourselves, or it's our goals. That's what we're actually thinking. But I want you to think beyond that. I want you to wonder what this thread could actually also mean. Okay? So we want our next reader.
Oh, okay. Tragedies happen, people get hurt or die, and you suffer and get old. Nothing you can do can stop time's unfolding. You don't even let go of the fight.
Okay. What does tragedies happen? People get hurt, sometimes they die. What does that have to do with this goal that you set for yourself?
Like, if you have a goal that's like involves a person or something, and then they get hurt or like they can't do that anymore, then like you can't really have that goal anymore.
Okay, so, but it says right here that even when people die or tragedies happen, you don't ever let go of that thread. So does that make sense? Even if tragedies happen, what you just said, if tragedies happen, we let go of our goals. But right here it says you don't ever let go of your goals. But what my thinking for you is maybe the thread means something else. Maybe the thread means something else. Yes, sir.
Like when people die, you're not supposed to let them interfere with your goals.
So it doesn't matter what happens in life, you continue with your goals, okay?
Well, it's kind of like one of mine said, like there's kind of like roadblocks in the way, but you just go around them and keep going.
Okay. You just keep going no matter what gets in your path. Yes, Olivia?
Oh, I was saying that no matter what happens around you, just keep on going.
Okay, continue on your path. Does anybody have another suggestion to what this thread could possibly be? Think about your own lives. Some of you are holding on to a thread right now, and you have people that are trying to get in your way and trying to cause problems and trying to create tragedies for you. But you have to make this decision to go around that roadblock. But it really doesn't have anything to do with the goal that you set for your future. It has something to do a little bit more. What could that thread be that you hang on to in your life, and it's going to be there with you no matter who gets hurt, no matter how you get hurt? You've always got this one thing in your life that you're going to hang on to, and no matter how old you get or how upset you get, you know you've always got this one thread that's going to keep you safe. What could that be?
Parents,
Our parents, okay. But after a while you grow up, don't you?
Yeah.
And then you start making your own decisions about life.
Your religion,
Your religion. Why do you say that?
because like I don't know how to explain it, but if you're a Christian and like that's always like been there for you, and it's always like will be.
So that's the one thing that you can always go to help you with tragedies, things that you suffer, people that die. You always can turn to your religion. What do you think about that, folks? What do you think? Guys in the back, what do you think about, you have your religion. No matter what your religion is, you've got this one thing in your life that will always be of value to you, and you never stray away from it because that's the one true thing in your life. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? What do you think about that? You understand what I'm asking? Like, how is religion, how could that possibly be this thread running on? We've talked about two things. We've talked about how this thread could possibly be the goal that you set for your life. We've talked about how it can possibly be your parents and how your parents influence you throughout your life. And we also talked about how the thread could possibly be your religion. And no matter what happens in your life, you've got this thread that nobody else sees. You've always got that. I want you to write number 4 in your paper, and I want you to pick one of those, and I want you to back it up with something from the text. So I want you to pick one of those, and then I want you to go back to the text and say, I know that I'm right because, and I want you to tell me something from the text that supports what you have to say. Yes, sir.
Can you say it different? Like,
If you, absolutely. What's your name? Amon? Amon asks, can I pick something else? Yeah. If you don't want to choose one of those 3, parents, goals, religion, and you have something else in your mind, absolutely, please write that. But again, you got to back it up. You have 30 more seconds. I want you to look at your first thing that you said and the last thing that you said. And I want you to, these are your options. You're going to raise your hand if you think your comprehension improved between the first reading and the last reading. Or you're going to raise your hand if your comprehension did not improve at all. Okay. Raise your hand if your comprehension improved from the first time you read it to the multiple times that we read it. Raise your hand if you think you know more about the text now than you did before. Raise your hand if you don't feel your comprehension improved much at all. Okay. So what can we say about the things that we did today? What can we say about that?
what can you say about 3?
What?
What can you say about 3?
No. What can you say about rereading the text in order to gather information, in order to understand your information? What can we say about that?
It worked.
It works. Did you guys see it actually work?
It helped.
It helped, yes. So when you're taking the past test here in another few weeks, because we have the reading past test to do, and you have to read a selection to answer the questions. If you don't understand number 1, what do you think you need to do in order to be able to answer that question? What do you think you need to do? Just guess.
Reread it.
Reread it. Reread it, because the more you reread it, the better you're going to understand it, even if you reread it just one more time, okay? If you're in science, one more question. If you're in science and you don't understand that paragraph you just read, what do you need to do? Thank you so much for allowing me to come into your class today. As you leave, if you will take my phone and lay it right here, and if you will take your answers and lay them right here, I really appreciate it. And I will keep the answers.